And welcome back to another episode. Welcome back to another episode of JP and the Beans Talk. Sorry, the excitement from San Diego Comic-Con got to me today.
There's a good energy in the gym. We're here. Not in San Diego, or San Diego, as the natives call it, but nonetheless, firmly planted in Iowa. We're here. We're ready to just reap the benefits of that San Diegan energy. So let's go.
I love how fired up you are right now. Guys, he had no cocaine. No coffee. This is just pure adrenaline today.
24/7,
pure
65 rage at 1,000,000%. Lego Batman quote. You need to watch that.
Someday.
This is your semi-weekly reminder to watch Lego Batman, the movie.
Maybe when I move closer, we can just have movie nights.
Yep. And it'll be that movie pretty much every time.
Oh, that's fine.
But that's okay.
That's fine.
Great.
And we can have the kid. It would be great. It's a great whole family movie.
Okay. Speaking of the kids.
Yes.
I saved this story for this moment.
Oh, great.
So
I've been excited.
Tell you what.
I miss the kids.
You know what? They miss you too. I told them I was going to go pod with Riley, and they were very disappointed not to see you. So,
well, I'm glad I have that effect on their lives.
You do. You got a big impact, man. Big impact. So as you know, we've got the 5 youngins.
Yes.
Right? 2 2-year-olds. Okay?
Right.
2 2-year-old boys. We're at that stage where it's like, hey, it's time to start potty training. But do you really want to potty train 2 at a time? No, you do not. It is a bear cat to potty train 1. So why would you double that? You wouldn't. You really wouldn't.
No.
So Lindsay, my wife, wisely said, hey, I'm just going to potty train 1, and then we'll get the second one involved, right? Is my mic okay? I feel like I'm a little low. Let's check. Spot check. Check, check. Check, check.
I'm good.
I'm good. Okay. Okay.
Oh, try rotating the microphone.
Yep.
So it's there.
Yep.
That's probably what it is. Except now she's a little loosey-goosey, but that's fine.
Yep, we're going to live in the Lucy world. That's okay. Yep, happier. Okay, technical difficulties, we're back. Speaking of technical difficulties, all right? So the older the 2 2-year-olds, because they're staggered by several months, right? So we're like, hey, we're going to potty train him, get him set, and then we're going to potty train the next one, right? No big deal, okay? Well, apparently it is a big deal because the younger 2-year-old realized that he's being left out and is just devastated, like emotionally distraught that he cannot go poop on the potty. All right?
Right.
And it's like, why is this a problem? Like, don't worry about it. Just keep, doing your business in the diaper. You're fine. He's legitimately upset. Okay?
I mean, it is low maintenance.
Yeah. This is all on Monday, but we're still powering through like, nope, just one. And by we, I really mean Lindsay. I'm at work, so I'm not dealing with this. This is Lindsay bearing the brunt of this. Okay? So Tuesday, I'm at work. Lindsay texts me 1 hour after I've been at work. So this is in the morning. She says, all right, Arthur, the older 2-year-old, peed in the potty. Yay, that's a win. Okay, that's good. Jojo, the baby in the family, had a huge blowout poop that got all over Lindsay and the baby. So Lindsay's like, crap, literally, I got to clean this up. So she hops in the shower with the baby to get them both cleaned up. While she's doing this, Arthur, who had just peed in the potty, poops his pants. Okay, that's an L. Calvin, the younger 2-year-old, is saying, F this noise of me not getting potty trained. He goes and poops in the potty by himself, which on the one hand, win, but he's so excited that he pooped in the potty that he gets up off the potty. There's still a little bit of, nuggets left in the cheeks, falls on the floor, steps in it, walks all over the house with poop-covered feet. So there's literally poop everywhere. Literally poop everywhere. She texts me this, and I'm just like, no way. I call her immediately, like, are you okay? Oh my gosh, what is happening? She's like, I'm fine. I think I'm going to be okay. Might need to do a little drugs, but I'm okay.
Bro, I would puke.
Oh
bro, I would see that puke.
Unbelievable.
It reminds me of at Fairway when there was a service dog one time that just laid a turd. Oh. And I was like, no. It's like, I remember.
Poop is just disappointing. Bro. Like when it's not where it's supposed to be in the toilet, it's disappointing. There's just a sense of defeat. Like that's not how life is supposed to be. There shouldn't be poop.
Bro, I can't even lie to you. I looked at that. I walked away.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, I think there's some mud out there. And I just left it. I didn't say shit. I was like, I'm not cleaning that up.
You were done. Poop is tough.
That's amazing. But
Poop is tough.
not a bad problem to have, though, to have the other kid want to do it. That's
truthfully,
great.
Yeah, truthfully, in the long term, it's going to benefit us. So then today, it's my day off. I'm at home, so we've got 2 hands on deck, and which is helpful when 2 2-year-olds apparently are going to be potty trained, and they're just all about it. So we've got a timer set, like every 15 minutes, go to the bathroom, and they run into their potties, excited. They're just... Here's what the best part is. They're just in underwear, and that's it all day long. Like, we're not even bothering putting other clothes on them. So if we're outside in the backyard, they're in underwear, and then they're Keens. Keen sandals and underpants. Like, just living free.
Hey, practice makes perfect.
It's great. It's great. A lot of good practice. So there you go. There's your random tale from my life.
I love it.
For the week. Yeah.
I love it.
But Comic-Con. No poop from Comic-Con.
No.
A lot of gold. A lot of straight actual wealth, a straight up treasure trove for us to digest and enjoy.
You know, I just to be honest, I feel so bad for DC. And I say this because look, they come out, they have The Rock dressed in the Black Adam suit, he does his thing. They bring out the Shazam trailer, they talk about Shazam, everybody's like, "Oh, you know what? DC's got some stuff we can like look at and be happy about." And then Kevin Feige shows up and he's like, "Nah, this is my day."
Dude,
and then blew everyone away.
Pure little brother, big brother situation on the movie front. It's
blown away.
Just, yeah. You've got, I mean, seriously, it's the adult Marvel who's gone off to college, graduated, done something with himself, and it's the little brother that was born 15 years after Big Brother.
Right.
You know, doing some good things, but on a whole different level.
Well, that and little brother just doesn't choose his friends wisely.
Also, yeah,
lets the good ones get away from him and keeps the ones that, you know, are in trouble all the time.
It's good stretching of the analogy. I love it.
It is what it is.
Yeah, dude, it's great. It's great. A lot of good stuff to talk about. So we won't dilly-dally because there's a ton of content to get through. So we will get to the feast, which is the Marvel content. But prior to that, let's throw our boys at DC a bone. Let's talk Shazam, right? Let's talk the Lord of the Rings trailer, neither in Marvel or DC, but nonetheless within our realm of content that we like to hit on. Then we'll get into Marvel, and we'll even bring a little top 5 action into this game because we're getting towards the end of Phase 4. We're in the latter stages of Phase 4, and I think it's appropriate at this juncture to say, hey, we've had a lot of shows, a lot of movies. So far, what would our top 5 be from Phase 4? And that's how we'll tie it off. So without further ado, the Shazam Fury of the Gods full trailer dropped. There have been some other little teases that have come out in the last several months. What'd you think, Riles?
I'm pumped for it.
Yeah.
I like Shazam. I like the first one. I thought the first one was good.
Really solid.
I thought it was cool for the lore. I don't know much about Shazam, but I was like, oh, this is cool. I think they went more off the New 52 version.
Very much
correct?
so. Yep, very much so.
Because I believe before pre New 52, wasn't he like he was actually like a good kid, like just a genuinely good kid,
right?
And he got it.
Very pure of heart, like just think of like Clark Kent as a boy.
Right.
Like it was a little too on the nose with the similarities to Superman.
And then New 52, it was like, okay, we're gonna get away from the fact that you have to be perfect to have these powers.
Right. Kids got some flaws.
Right.
Yeah, no question.
I'm excited. They're fighting a dragon. That seems kind of cool. I think it's cool having like they're sticking with the Greek mythology of it.
Yeah.
And having like, okay, here's the daughters of the Titans from the Greek days. I think that's badass.
Yeah, was it Daughters of Atlas? Did I hear that right? Yeah, that's great.
So it's like, okay. And Helen Mirren looks like a badass. So I'm cool with that. She's a good actress.
I don't think you'd ever want to be on the wrong side of Helen Mirren.
No. She's a solid actress.
Yeah. And Lucy Liu. I haven't seen Lucy Liu in anything for a long time.
I'm going to be honest, I don't even know what she's been in.
Shanghai Noon is what I remember her from. Jackie Chan, Owen Wilson, and Lucy freaking Liu in Shanghai Noon. I want to say 2000. I'm going to look this up. Great, hilarious movie. If you haven't seen it, treat yourself.
I have not. But
treat yourself.
Go
see it.
I recognized her just didn't know who she was.
Yep.
But yes, I'm excited.
2000 right on the nose. Yes.
Look at you.
Crushed
Good for you.
Crushed it.
Good for you.
You bet.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm excited. I think it looks like he's going to be struggling with the fact now that he's been a hero if he deserves it.
Mm-hmm. The worthiness.
Right.
Yeah,
Which I kind of like because at first he's first movie he's psyched that he has powers.
Right? Which is a totally appropriate reaction. You're a teenager and all of a sudden, I'm sorry, you talk about the ultimate wish fulfillment. You have freaking superpowers and all of them? Like, seriously, you're invulnerable.
You're magic
you can
Superman.
Fly. Right? You have the ability to shoot lightning?
Right.
That's fantastic.
It's sweet. And he's
Fantastic.
smart when he's Shazam.
And you have the most airtight alter ego ever.
Right.
Right? Your superhero persona is a full-grown buff dude, and you are a kid. No one can figure that out or should be able to. That's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and I love the family aspect. That was very much a New 52 piece. I should say, in the original comics, there were, let's see, who was it? It was Billy, Mary, and rats! I'm blanking on the young dude's name. Bear with me here. So there was some family aspect in the originals, but I liked how I thought, fleshed it out and gave it some really fresh vibrancy in this movie. Like that was a twist that maybe I should have seen coming, but I didn't. I guess I didn't know much about the New 52 version of Shazam, so I was very excited to see what they did with that character.
Hey, and in the first movie, towards the end,
Freddie Freeman. There we go.
When they all get it towards the end of the first movie, and they fight other people of equal level, it makes sense on like another movie that we just recently watched. So,
Yep.
You see what I did there?
Little Thor toss up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kids and the bunnies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways.
Yep. Still fresh.
What did you think? Shazam.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. I hope that it stays on brand. I hope it continues to lean into the family aspect. I thought that was really genuine and sweet with the first movie. It did not feel forced or out of place, and it was speaking as someone who had and then adopted a foster kid in our own home, I really appreciated how they portrayed that particular dynamic. Right, the folks that were his foster parents in particular, I thought were portrayed really respectfully. I didn't think it was overly glamorous or anything like that. I thought they hit some key notes with each of his foster siblings, with the different personalities, the different struggles that they had. So I was impressed with that. It offered a lot more than I anticipated. I remember going into that movie just hoping it would not be a dumpster fire. Like, I don't know what to expect. This could suck. And it didn't. It was genuinely well written and well constructed. So sequels are tough in general. For example, on the DC track, the second Wonder Woman movie was not at the same caliber as the first Wonder Woman movie, which was, in my opinion, outstanding. Second Wonder Woman movie was good, but it wasn't the same level of outstanding. So it's going to be difficult to repeat that level of success, but I don't think it has to. It just has to be good. It doesn't have to be outstanding. It just has to be good. And I think it really can be. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope they stick with the tone that they established in the first movie, and this is another carryover from our Thor discussion from a couple weeks ago. There was plenty of humor in the movie, in that first Shazam movie, but it did not rob the levity when that was needed. And so I hope that balance is struck again with this film.
Right.
We'll see.
Right.
We'll see. But yeah, what we got a peek of looked great. Looking forward to it.
Woo!
Do you think we'll get any Black Adam in that Shazam movie?
See, here's the thing. Okay, their two end credit scenes from the first one was Black Adam.
Yep.
And it was the weird caterpillar creepy guy,
Mr. Mind.
that I'm actually okay never shows up because
creepy.
That dude
genuinely creepy.
No, that dude's like, yeah, it freaks me out.
Yeah,
I don't want to see that.
It's disturbing.
Dude, insect people, top 2 fear. Okay, insect people. Doesn't matter what insect. Okay, gross, icky. Okay, but I feel it almost feels like they're gonna do Black Adam versus Superman before they do Black Adam versus Shazam.
Okay,
which I don't know how I feel about, because you feel like Shazam should go up against Black Adam more first, but I don't know. We'll see. It's possible. The Rock wants to be Black Adam for a while, I think. So I think the opportunity is going to be there, and I think it can happen. It actually might happen in a Black Adam 2 movie rather than a Shazam movie.
That's fair.
So
that's fair.
I think it'll happen. I just don't know if it'll be Shazam. But
yeah,
yes,
yeah. Well, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to what we've seen so far is promising. So hopefully it comes up. And I gotta say, I can't even. I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce his name, because I'm sure I pronounce it differently every time I say it. Jaimon Hansu, okay, the guy that plays the Wizard. That dude has been yoked for a substantial period of time. He has been cut up for decades. Okay, I can't believe how many Thor pulls we're bringing into this. He was in Gladiator with Russell Crowe. Okay, back in the early 2000s, and we just saw not cut up Russell as chubby Zeus in the Thor movie.
Yeah.
Jaimon looks exactly the same as he did in Gladiator. It's ridiculous.
Okay, I thought the Wizard died in the first one. Did he not die?
100%, but I mean, it's magic.
Okay.
No, it's magic, and it's comics. It's the perfect combo. Magic, comics, never dead.
Okay, that makes
never
sense.
dead.
But I was like,
100%. Like, he straight up disintegrated.
Like
not just died, he just disintegrated. He was gone.
It's like, I thought the whole point is he was going to die, so he just handed it off to our boy Billy.
Yep, evidently he's back. So, and I'm here for it. Because not only is he back, he's not wearing the full garb. They're like, wait a minute, we cast Jaimon Hansu in this. Excuse me, if you could wear less clothing and show off more of your chiseled shoulders, that would be terrific. And I'm here for it.
He earned it.
I'm here. He has! The guy's put in work for decades. Let him reap the benefits.
That's awesome.
Oh, he looks good. He looks good. What a guy. Okay, there we go.
Transition. Lord of the Rings.
Hey, Lord of the Rings. That trailer came out, and we'd had one or two previous teaser trailers. I was most encouraged by this most recent full, a little more than 3-minute trailer. Here's the deal. I don't know what to expect as far as will it be good, enjoyable, or will it just be trash? Because what it's going to come down to, Riley, is the story. The look, everything looks fine. Like, it looks good. Nothing looks like, we'll get into some trailers that we saw where things didn't look so good, in particular on the Marvel side. She-Hulk. But
they fixed it up a little bit. They fixed it up a
little bit. The Lord of the Rings trailer, everything looked spectacular. And that's fine, but you got to have a great story. You just do. That is what drives a movie or a show from being either or good to awesome. In particular, the Lord of the Rings level, which is top of all time. I mean, right. It's just unbelievable. It's because of the story. I don't know if we're going to get that. And this trailer, like, no trailer can really answer that question. You got to actually get into the show, get into the movie to figure that out. It looks great. I love the direction they're going with Galadriel being, at least as the trailer is portraying it, the primary protagonist. I love the idea of being able to see Sauron and his I don't know where we're really finding Sauron in this story, other than he's not a ginormous 8-foot tall, clothed in black pointy armor at this point. I saw a comment on YouTube, which was hilarious. The commenter said, "Oh, cool, so they cast Eminem as Sauron." It was so on the nose. It was too good. It was like, that's really accurate. That's exactly what it looks like.
He comes out of the shadows, and he goes,
straight up drops mom spaghetti.
Yeah. I was trying to think of the...
Oh, I'm so sweaty.
I'm trying to think of the quote.
I don't know. I can't
capture it. or would you let it slip? And then all of a sudden, just murders a man straight through the chest. Why can't I think of that full line from Lose Yourself? If you had one opportunity, one moment, would you capture it or would you let it slip? Came to me.
You got it. Way to bring it up. Way to bring it to the fold.
I wish I could have aced it the first time, but
that was great. So what I'm hopeful for, right? To me, it's very similar to the Star Wars dynamic that we've discussed, where it's, hey, go thousands of years in the future or thousands of years in the past. That's what this is. This is thousands of years before anything that we know about The Hobbit, about The Lord of the Rings taking place. And I don't know a soul, Riley. Obviously, someone has. I just don't personally know anyone who has actually read the works that this show is based off of, which I think is helpful because it opens up expectations to be reasonable, right? So I'm not coming into this movie or show going, hey, I read the book. This is what I remember from the book. So it's got a chance, and it's going to be completely on the folks that are responsible for writing, producing, directing, etc. if it flops, because I think expectations are as reasonable as they possibly can be for a Lord of the Rings vehicle. So it's got every chance to succeed, and if it doesn't, it's on them. But I'm looking forward to watching it.
It sounds like a real chocolate chip cookie situation.
Ooh, tell me more.
Because you see a chocolate chip cookie, right?
Yes.
And you're like, oh my gosh, it's magnificent. It looks beautiful.
It is.
You know it's going to be chocolate. You know it's going to taste really, really good.
Yep.
And then you bite it.
Yep.
And then when you bite it, you either find out, oh, this is a really good chocolate chip cookie, or you're like, oh, that's oatmeal raisin.
Ooh.
And then you spit it out, and you're like, this is a disappointment. It looks so good from very, very far away, but it turned out to be an oatmeal raisin. That happened to me one time, and to this day, it has still scarred me.
Of course.
And the worst part is it was a big cookie. It was a big cookie. We were at like a diner.
It was probably soft.
And I was like, oh, it's a cookie.
Right.
And I asked for chocolate chip.
Right.
And they gave me a chocolate chip.
Oh, no.
And then I went home and I tried it. And I'm like,
this is freaking oatmeal raisin.
I go,
oh. That's not okay. I'm sorry.
It scarred me forever.
Man, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah. It's stuck with you, and that's fair.
But that's my point. This is a cookie situation.
It is a cookie situation. We're getting chocolate chip or oatmeal raisin. That's great. I hope we remember that and come back to it. So that's all that I have to say on that front. I'm encouraged, looking forward to it. Hope that it succeeds. That's for sure. Few other trailers that we got to see,
which fully kicks into our Marvel portion.
Hello. So there's your little, your little plug, DC. Good for you, little brother. Right. Big Bro stepped up. Holy shnikes.
Okay, now here's the question. How do we want to do this? Do we want to wrap up Phase 4 with the 2 trailers? Because we didn't get a Phase 5 trailer, did we?
No.
Not posted. We got Black Panther, and what was the other one?
Yep.
Or is Black Panther the only one?
Black Panther and She-Hulk were the 2 trailers that we got out of Phase 4.
The final Phase 4, that was the only thing we got from Marvel. I know that they had an Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer there that they showed, and same with Guardians.
Yep, but just for Hall H.
Correct.
Yep.
So.
Yep. At least until it gets leaked, and then eventually they'll... That's usually what happens. Right. Somebody videotapes it, puts it on the web, and they go, crap.
I've seen like a skosh of the Ant-Man one, because I saw it, and I'm like, I need to wait and see this, because I think this is going to be really badass if it comes out officially.
Right.
So.
Right. No, let's that's a good thought. Let's pull back, kind of go 1,000-foot view of Phase 4, and then we can jump back into the trailers. I like that thought.
Okay. So... yes, let me pull up our pictures because I took pictures.
So proud of you.
Okay, so we have the whole Phase 4 lineup. Okay, we went WandaVision first, kicked it off in January after the stupid pandemic. Screw you, COVID.
January of 2021. That seems like a long time ago. Like, I know it sort of is, but it feels longer than a year and a half.
Right.
Yeah.
Wild. And that's just because of the amount of content we've been getting.
Wild, right?
Like,
look at this.
Right. WandaVision in January of 2021.
Yep.
And then we have Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming out in March of 2021.
Yep. And
then Loki comes out in June. Black Widow in July.
You say that with your chest. Black Widow came out in July.
Came out in July. Shang-Chi, September 3rd. Eternals, November 5th. And then, we had a lot in 2021. Hawkeye, November 24th. And then the best thing to ever come out of Marvel, Spider-Man No Way Home, December 17th.
That's
best
insane.
Christmas present I've gotten in a long time.
That's insane. 5 movies, 3 shows. Excuse me, 4 shows. Did I get that wrong? 4 movies,
1, 2,
4
3,
shows.
4, 5.
Terrible
5
math
movies.
on my part.
Nope, 4 movies.
4 and 4.
1, 2,
yep.
yep.
4 and 4.
And
that is a lot for 1 year.
Right.
A lot.
And then March, we have Moon Knight come out of this year.
That was all the way back in March.
Right. May, Doctor Strange.
Yep.
July, Thor.
Before that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Ms.
June.
Marvel in
I
June.
skipped over Miss Marvel.
Yep.
Miss Marvel probably won't be on our top 5 list because we haven't seen it. There is one significant thing that came out of Miss Marvel that you probably saw that we should probably mention.
We'll hit on that.
She-Hulk show, and then when is that? She-Hulk,
August 17th.
Okay, and then Wakanda Forever, November 11th.
Okay, so we're coming to the end of Phase 4.
Right. And something that I find interesting before we dive deep into this,
Yep.
they've broken down. So I don't know if you guys remember, Phase 1 was like over a 5-year span. Was it something like that? How long was Phase 1? I feel like it was a lot long. No, probably
It was much more spread out. I mean,
right.
out of necessity.
Well, Phase 3 was
because Phase 1
long.
wrapped up with Avengers.
Right.
The first Avengers movie. So I'm just going to go off the top of my head here. We had Iron Man, right? First Iron Man and Iron Man 2. Yep, 08. Avengers came out in 2012, if I recall correctly.
Right. So 4 years?
Well, no, that'd be 5 because 08, 09, 10, 11, 12. So that's 5 years.
Okay.
Yep. 5 years.
And they've managed to condense each phase down. And condense. How
about fleshed out?
Fleshed out
right.
into 2-year spans.
Yep.
Because Phase 5 will kick off in 2023.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
Which
insane.
we're closer to than we
thought.
Than before.
No one thought that Phase 5 would be
We're closer to
this
2023
close
than we are to the start of 2022.
Until this.
Wow.
So, yes.
That's pretty wild.
This is our Phase 4.
That's Phase 4. Okay, we're going to circle back to Phase 4. Let's jump ahead real quick to Phase 5.
Phase 5, which this is the big daddy of announcements, okay?
Oh, boy.
We have Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, coming out February of next year.
Yep.
Then we have Secret Invasion, which is just spring of next year. My guess is probably March or April.
Yep.
Probably March.
Sometime before the Guardians movie.
Right. My guess is going to be late March. Guardians comes out in May. And then we have Echo and Loki.
Which I should say, or we should say with Guardians, that's supposed to be the last Guardians standalone film.
Supposedly. My guess...
That's how they're putting it out there, that it's the end of their story, last movie for those ruffians.
My guess for that specific roster.
Yep.
I think they'll still...
You think they could iterate different rosters
right.
under the Guardians banner?
I think they'll pick and choose.
Okay.
That's my own opinion.
All right.
You know how long you can have Groot around? Groot could be around forever and ever.
A lot of seedlings.
Right.
Yep.
So then we have Echo coming out in summer of 2023.
Yep.
Yay. Loki season 2 comes out in summer of 2023 as well. It looks like Echo's going to come out before Loki right now.
Mm-hmm.
So probably early June for Echo and late July for Loki.
Okay, that's fair.
And then the Marvels come out in July of 28.
Yep.
Then the big daddy of announcements. Oh, wait, maybe I should do Ironheart first. Ironheart, fall 2023.
There you go.
Now, the big daddy, Blade, November 3rd of 2023. Mark your calendars. That's going to be sick. Okay? Marshala Ali, Kit Harington, because you know your boy's going to be there. Okay? Then we have Agatha, Coven of Chaos. They changed the name.
Yep.
What
was the original title?
House of Harkness.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess Coven of Chaos rolls off the tongue just a wee bit better.
Sure. Okay. Whatever.
It's like the most Marvel thing, by the way, to have it like literate like that.
And they're saying, hey, that's going to carry over between winters of 23 and 24.
Right.
Okay.
And then the other big daddy, probably the bigger daddy than Blade, Daredevil, Born Again, spring 2024, a whopping 18 episodes. 18 episodes. What was the longest season for Daredevil in Netflix? 10?
At least 10, maybe 12. Nowhere near the 18
Not 18.
mark. No.
Daredevil. Wow. Then we have May 3rd, Captain America, New World Order.
Movie.
Right.
Yep.
Movie, which
Yep.
I'm very curious what that's going to be about.
And it's a little... Go ahead. Keep going.
And then we end with Thunderbolts, and Kevin Feige said that probably half of that roster will be new characters that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
Which is dope because I thought it was going to be all characters that we have seen.
Yep.
Just don't make it Suicide Squad. Keep a lot of them alive, and we're good.
There you go. Well, and part of what stuck out to me here with Phase 5, then we'll circle back to Phase 4. We had a little bit of a rhythm in the release order. You have movie, show, potentially. Kind of that every other for a bit, but then you get to the end of 23 and you've got 3 shows, Ironheart, Agatha, Covenant of Chaos, and Daredevil Born Again, all prior to the Captain America movie, which doesn't release until early May of 2024. So on the one hand, I thought, hey, we got a little bit of a rhythm, and then psych, guess not. Okay, so there's Phase 5.
I didn't even realize Phase 5 ends halfway through 2024. Phase 6
kind of odd.
Kicks off fall of 2024.
I could see them reshaping that a little bit.
Well,
But
there's a few things they've announced that they haven't done anything with. Armor
Right.
Wars is nowhere in here.
Yep.
So
Yep. There's some MIAs here.
right.
Yep. Which
So-
just goes to show you that until it comes out,
Right.
hold on loosely. Like even this schedule, right?
It's going to be loose.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is the current plan a whole year out, so totally subject to change. It always is. So hold on loosely.
And they changed the logo for Daredevil too.
And here's the other piece, the more that these shows and movies become intertwined, and we're already at this point. I shouldn't say the more. We're already at this point where as soon as one of these, really what we should call them is a chapter in the story, gets pushed back or delayed, it impacts everything that is supposed to follow.
Right.
Because if they are genuinely trying to expand on the interconnectivity of these films and now shows, it just takes one of these to need a little more CG work, and all of a sudden they're all shoved back a month or so. So, no joke. No joke. Okay, let's touch on the Phase 6 piece real quick.
Okay, Phase 6 announced. There's only 3 movies that have been announced, okay? And there is...
And all movies, no shows at this point.
Right, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slots that are open.
Yep.
So there's 8 things that we have no idea what's going to be there.
Yep.
Okay, we have... In November of 2024, we get the Fantastic Four, and they kick off Phase 6. Sick. Kevin, my application for Human Torch will be in soon.
So would you call Fantastic Four the end of Phase 5?
No, they said that's the start of Phase 6.
Okay.
That is what has been said so far.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, that logo is sweet. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Then they've announced 2 Avengers movies, which one we've kind of known that was probably going to be the next Avengers movie was Secret Wars.
Yep.
But before that, it's going to be Avengers Kang Dynasty in May. And November 7th will be Secret Wars. They've announced that the director for Shang-Chi will be directing Kang Dynasty.
Huh. Okay.
So I'm cool with that.
Okay.
And
Yep.
then
Yep.
that's it. That's all we have.
Yep. Which makes sense. Like they don't need to get over their skis and put too many expectations out there for different titles. There's going to be more than that. We don't need it now. Right now.
And
we
then
don't.
it's
We're talking 2025.
Right.
3 years from now.
2 things to take away from this. We're getting 2 Avengers movies in the same year. Okay?
Yep.
That's 1. 2, I've realized that the Avengers are no longer the Avengers to Marvel. And I say that because I think Avengers Endgame made it so everyone's a player as an Avenger. So I think it's just a, hey, keep an eye out. I think everyone's going to be involved here.
Sure.
It's just kind of something that's evolved into that. That might just be me.
Yeah. Well, and again, I would say hold on loosely to this because, as you may recall, Infinity War, originally, that was supposed to be a Infinity War Part 1, Infinity War Part 2.
Right.
That got reworked, retitled. So there's so much time between now and then. I don't think the titles necessarily are in jeopardy, but the sequencing with which they are released, I won't be surprised at all if we end up hearing that actually we're going to do one Avengers movie each year. Rather
I would be
than
okay with that, to be honest.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's a lot.
Right.
That's a lot.
Right. So, do we want to do our top 5 and then the trailers? I think we talk about She-Hulk and Wakanda.
Yeah.
Because those are the two that aren't involved in the top 5.
You bet.
So,
you bet. Let's save the top 5 for last. Let's just dive into this feast, and we'll put the top 5. I like keeping it at the end. Right. I think it puts a nice bow on our discussions here. So let's hit up the trailers we got for these last 2 Phase 4 pieces. She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, coming out a little less than a month from now, August 17th. Wakanda Forever, November 11th. Let's start with She-Hulk. Okay. What'd you think, Riles? I'm still very much, I'm going to spoil this a little bit. I'm still very much on the fence of this. Like, do I watch it? And if I do, I'm legitimately not watching it for She-Hulk. I'm watching it for
The Man Without Fear.
For Bruce Banner,
Daredevil,
Abomination, and Daredevil. That's who I'm watching this for.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm watching it for Daredevil, 100%. I'm not going to lie. That's the only one I care about. Charlie Cox coming back. The yellow and red suit. Awesome. Okay? So, yes. That was the main thing that I was excited about. Now, it looks
where they dropped Daredevil into the end of the trailer.
Right.
Yes.
I think the She-Hulk fans will be happy because it looks like she did like a fourth wall break in the trailer.
Sure.
Which she did in the comics before Deadpool.
Okay.
So I'll give her the credit there. Okay?
Okay.
Just don't
So that's part of the charm.
Just don't overdo it. Okay? That's his thing. I don't give a crap how earlier you came into the life, okay? It's Deadpool's
you attach
thing.
that to
do or die.
To Deadpool.
So, anyways, she looks like she'll be a good She-Hulk. I don't think the casting's going to be bad. I think the casting's going to be great.
Solid, per usual.
I don't know story-wise where they're going to go with this. It sounds like she's just going to be focusing on superhuman law, which could be interesting, and it could be not interesting. And honestly, it depends on the story here because I have no idea what's going to happen.
Right. I'm really concerned on the story side as well. That is where these shows in general, that's where you have an opportunity to struggle. And I think even on the shows that we've enjoyed the most, there's been times where it's felt very filler-y. And maybe I'm just feeling the residual impact yet of some Obi-Wan, which isn't Marvel, but nonetheless, that's my concern. Is there enough of a story here to tell to extrapolate out to however many episodes they're going to give us? I don't know. The CG still looked like
it looked a little better.
A little better, but not enough.
Right.
Not enough. So, it needs to look so much better. And oh my gosh, we're like 3 weeks away.
Right.
Oh boy.
And you have 12 episodes, right? They have 12 episodes. They have more episodes than any other show. Okay. So get it together.
And you can't, she can't look so below average when they've still got Bruce Banner, Professor Hulk dialed in. He still looks excellent. So when they're right next to each other and she looks like early 2000s CG and he looks 2022 CG, that's tough.
Right.
That's a really tough side by side to have to deal with. So I almost feel bad for the character that she just doesn't look good. Hopefully that changes. Hopefully she does. But up to this point, color me concerned.
See what you did there.
Yeah.
Because she's green.
She is green. I'm excited for the supporting cast for the Daredevil. I don't have my expectations set too high, Riley, because I don't know how much he's going to be in there. If he's in there a lot, whoa, awesome. But I have been hurt, most recently by Hawkeye, where they brought freaking Kingpin in and then did him dirty. Don't do that with Daredevil. Don't do that.
See, and it's interesting because it's almost like they're using Daredevil characters to, as the Nick Fury of the street level characters. If you think about this, they're having Daredevil show up in She-Hulk. Then there's rumors of, Daredevil and
Echo.
Daredevil's going to be an Echo, and so is Kingpin, more than likely.
Yep.
So they got him in that.
Yep.
And Kevin Feige has confirmed that Spider-Man is now going to be more of a street-level hero, which is Dope.
It's great.
Thank you.
It's great.
So much.
It's great.
Him and Daredevil together, I would cry tears of joy. That's something we want.
Here for it.
So, I don't know. It almost feels like that's... But Daredevil was in Spider-Man No Way Home. Right?
Here's just the reality. These street-level characters, with the exception of Daredevil, okay, and Spider-Man... It's hard for me to just sequester him strictly into the street level category. I love it a lot when he is at that level, but so far he's been very, very much crossing the boundaries, if you will, between street level and cosmic. Most of these street level characters, they need their supporting crew. Like, they really can't hold up a story on their own. Not for a full set of whatever it is, 6 or 12 episodes. Like, I'm even thinking of the Netflix shows. Right? Those got wearisome the longer that they stretched on for. Like, the first couple episodes of Luke Cage, I really enjoyed. And then, man, did it slog. And it wasn't as if it was poorly cast. There just wasn't enough story to tell.
They killed off their best villain.
Just so that he could star in Blade. No, it was a terrible choice. But that's my point. They just don't have enough story. And so I'm not discouraged by all these other characters, the Abominations, your Bruce Banners, your Daredevils being in the show. It's just necessary. You have to have more than just the primary character. And I'll even put that on the Hawkeye show. That was not a weakness of the Hawkeye show. All the other characters that they introduced, like Echo, bringing Kingpin in, those were good choices. The story still lacked enough meat on the bone. So I'm very much at a neutral. I'll probably watch the first episode, maybe the second, but I'm going to have to hear some really good things to keep me, or see some good things to really keep me engaged. I'm still very much on the fence with this one.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
I'll probably end up watching the whole thing, I'll be honest. But
great. More power to you.
But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to hit on with She-Hulk?
Nope.
Okay, so let's talk freaking Wakanda Forever.
I heard you were hyped for this.
I am hyped. Where are you at? Okay, let me go first then. I'm going to bring the hype. I think two things are true at the same time for me. I was talking with my good buddy Eric. Gotta give him a shout out every episode if I possibly can. And we were discussing how we weren't excited about the fact that Feige so early or so soon after Chadwick Boseman unfortunately passed away, they announced that, hey, we're not recasting T'Challa. That felt like kind of an emotional move rather than a rational move. And I totally understand the spirit of it. We want to honor this guy. We want to respect his legacy. Makes sense. It does. But I think you can do that. And I think you can do that while recasting the character. I don't think you have to leave it untouched, never to be approached again. So I remain hopeful that will change at some point, because I really enjoy the character of T'Challa, and we haven't had him long enough.
Right.
We just haven't.
Right.
And I can get over hey, it's a different dude being called T'Challa, a different actor. I can make that transition. That's not going to be a problem for me.
We did it for Rhodey, and we did it for someone else. Don't remember who the other one was. Rhodey was the big one that I remember.
Yeah, Rhodey's the big one. So I really wish that they would do that, because I want that character of T'Challa to be involved as much as possible. I don't want his time to be done. I just don't. And I'm really impressed with this first trailer and how it seemed to pay homage to Chadwick Boseman, how it paid homage to the character of T'Challa. It struck this really unique tone of being both genuinely mournful and sorrowful, like it was heavy, but then, my goodness, what they showed was strong. The pieces of Atlantis that they gave to us, the little glimpses of Namor, and the Atlanteans and the Wakandans battling, and the struggle that all of T'Challa's friends and former comrades are going through to try and live life without their friend, without their son, without their brother, and without their leader. that's impressive. Like, that was one hell of a teaser trailer. And just from an artistic point of view, I loved how musical it was. Like, it was just like a killer song where it starts out fairly soft, fairly tender, and by the time it gets to the end, it has built up to where you're just going, let's go, let's get after it. And so it finished strong, the little Wakanda Forever whisper at the end of the trailer. That takes some doing to pack all that into 2 minutes. And again, the caveat with all these trailers, the movie, the show, it could suck. The trailer was great. The movie could still blow chunks. But I was really impressed with the trailer, and I was given fresh hope for the movie because I think it's going to tell a compelling story even without the character of T'Challa in it. And again, I still wish the character of T'Challa was in it. So, two seemingly conflicting wishes, desires, I think are true in me at the same time. So I'm very hopeful for the movie. Very hopeful. That's where I'm at. So yeah, color me hyped.
I'm excited for Namor.
Yeah.
That just brings in a whole new world for us.
Yep.
And it's something I just thought of like 2 minutes ago. He will be the second mutant to hit screen. This dude's a mutant.
Right.
So we're like this much closer. I mean, they made Miss Marvel a mutant.
Right.
Which I'm 50-50 on. I honestly don't care enough, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't have enough attachment to that character to feel one way or the other about it.
I was more upset about her power set being changed.
Sure.
Than her Inhuman
origin.
mutant. They're the same thing.
Yep.
They're the same thing. Okay.
Yep.
But
same thing, different names.
Namor is going to be sweet. Okay. Now, this movie's going to come down to probably three things. Okay. I want to know. I want to see. I want a comic accurate Namor. Okay. I want Namor to be a dick. All right. Okay.
He totally is in the comics, like all the time. Right. And here you have to respect that. He's been that way forever.
Right.
All the time. Like Captain America 1940s, 2022 Illuminati, dick. All the time.
He's not a good guy. He's not a bad guy.
Yep.
He's a dick.
You know what? He is on brand all the time.
I want to hate him. Okay. I want to hate him. All right.
But also kind of like him.
Right. Number two. Okay. Now this has very potential. Like this could change everything.
Okay.
There's rumors that Doctor Doom could be showing up in this movie. Ooh. And if that is the case, this was rumored way back when this movie was first starting. And the rumor is that's going to be Javier Bardem as Victor Von Doom, which, by the way, older guy, but not a bad choice. If you're going to go old, that was almost a perfect choice. Okay.
Javier is ferocious.
That dude's an amazing actor. Okay.
Yep.
That's his stellar. Yep. All around, okay?
Yep. Yeah, that's a heck of a pull if that's who they put in that role. Heck of a pull.
Will it happen? Probably not. But
fun to dream.
Okay. Third, I want to know who the next Black Panther is.
Okay.
That little clip of Black Panther, of the new next Black Panther, I'm very curious to see. Now, I will give you, there's 4 possibilities.
Yep.
Okay? And I will rank them in order. Okay?
In order of likelihood or in order of what you would prefer to see?
I'm going to go with what I would prefer to see.
Great. Love that.
Least preferred to see.
Yep.
T'Challa's baby mama. Okay? Don't want her to be the next Black Panther. I don't think it makes sense. Okay? Shuri is number 3.
Okay.
Now, I think Shuri is the most logical choice.
Most likely.
Because that is the comic choice.
Yep.
And I want to be very clear. I'm very okay with that choice.
Yep.
That's not a choice that I am against. I just wish it would have been later on down the road.
Sure.
It just happened a little too soon.
Yep.
Number 2, probably the least likely to happen, but one of the coolest, Killmonger coming back, taking over. I would like to see a redeemed Killmonger.
Right.
I don't want, bad guy Killmonger.
Making a deal with the devil, giving him the suit.
Right.
Because you're getting your butt kicked by Atlantis.
Right. That's not what I want.
Okay.
My number 1 choice, and I've been thinking a lot about this, I want M'Baku.
Whoa.
Which is an insane choice. But can you imagine that guy? That dude is jacked and he's huge as the Black Panther. Okay, it's one thing to see T'Challa as Black Panther, oh, that guy could beat me up. You look at M'Baku in the Black Panther suit, you're like,
it's more like Black Bear at that point.
Right, it's the Hulk.
Yep.
It is the Hulk.
Yep. Sizable
from
fellow.
Africa.
Sizable
It's
fellow.
insane.
Yep. T'Challa's legit Black Panther. This guy's, we're getting into Black Bear territory.
Right. And
Yep.
I've heard him voice Batman, so I know he can nail the violence. So I'm just, that's kind of that's my choice. That's my first choice. And Winston Duke's a great actor on top of all of that. So
Yeah. He was so powerful, so strong.
M'Baku's my number one choice.
Yep.
I think Shuri's the one that makes the most logical sense.
Most likely. I agree with you. That is most likely. That was a tremendous list. Love the thought you put into that.
And I don't think his lover will be, because she is obviously Prego.
Yep. Yeah. I don't think that's very likely at all. Shuri is certainly most likely. M'Baku, like, on the one hand, like, I want to get on board with that choice, but I enjoy him so much outside of the suit. I almost don't want him covered up by the suit. Does that make sense?
Right.
Not that he would be a great choice, but I just don't want him masked up. Like, I want him uncovered and just, he's got the the giant staff with the rock at the end of it. That's sweet.
There's something else they could do with him too that would be cool, and like, because in the comics he's like the great, like, he's something with the gorilla or something.
Yeah, like the white ape.
The white gorilla, yeah, the white ape or something like that.
Yeah, boy, I'm not remembering that exactly
So
right. Yep.
if they gave him like a updated, modernized kind of Black Panther-esque suit without the Black Panther-esque vibe,
leaning into the ape side.
Right.
Yep.
That would be dope too.
Okay.
I think he needs like a
little power up.
Right.
I'd be okay with that.
That would be dope. I'd be cool with that.
I would. Yeah. The character of T'Challa, again, I wish that they would bring him back. I hope they still will. And Killmonger's in a close second to T'Challa for me, because he was such an outstanding villain. And to your point, bring him back as a redeemed character. We don't need he's just waiting to stab us in the back Killmonger, right? It's just, you're making the deal with the devil until he gets what he wants, you get what you want, and now you're fighting each other again. I would much rather see him, can you say Winter Soldiered? Right? Where he's adversary and then becomes ally. A little different scenario because he wasn't brainwashed, so I know it's not a true one-for-one comparison here, but similar dynamic as far as you went from fighting this guy to now he is a genuine ally.
Maybe it all depends on how they kill T'Challa off. Because if they make it in some like heroic, like kingly way, that might be enough for Killmonger to be like, oh, I messed up. I did the wrong thing. I don't know. If it was out of respect.
I hadn't even thought of that, Riley. Like, how are they telling that part of the story of T'Challa being gone?
My guess is they're going to have Namor kill him off, or they think it's the Atlanteans, which would cause a war, but then it probably won't turn out to be Namor. That's a possibility. Sure. I don't know, but it has to be something along those lines, because why else would they be fighting?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
okay. Well, it's, again, I will rewatch that teaser multiple times. That was just an absolute banger in my mind. And I hope the movie lives up to it, because, again, trailers, hey, you never really know. They're not, you have great trailers for crappy movies all the time. So, to be determined, but that gave me some fresh enthusiasm for that movie. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
I have faith in Ryan Coogler. He did great on the first one. Yes. I think he'll do great on the second one. I think he'll get the Wakandan vibe perfectly like he did the last time. So.
The design in that movie, and it shows up in this trailer, the design, it's so fully formed. Like, we've talked about multiple times on this podcast how Asgard never felt as fully fleshed out as we desired it to be. Right? Like, you're getting a layer here, a couple layers deep. What they did in Black Panther to give that world such vibrancy was incredible. And it sure looks, again, just from the design perspective, it sure looks like they've done it again, this time with Atlantis being added to the mix. It doesn't just look like, hey, blue people. It looks like it has its own really well-developed culture and feel that you get just from seeing, right, without even hearing or knowing anything about the history that they're going to provide us with the Atlantean people. So I'm really encouraged by that. And I think part of where I want to buy into the Ryan Coogler belief, and I feel a little burned from the Thor movie, I don't think there's a tone that can necessarily be. There's not such a delicate balance to be found with this tone, right? Like we said with Thor, hey, it got too goofy, lost its balance too often. I don't think that is as fragile the balance in this case. I think it's more. I think it's more straightforward because I think it was more of a reflection of, hey, Coogler, just be who you are. Allow your cast to flourish. So much of that same cast is back. And I'm saying these things. I'm like, these are things that were also true in Thor. So they could stumble. They could. But sometimes adversity forces and develops and produces unexpectedly wonderful results. And the adversity that is put on this crew to come up with a story that does not involve their primary character, I think they're going to come up with something pretty special. It
makes me sad because it's like, he was so good as T'Challa, and I would have loved to see that dynamic of him and Namor on screen because they are bitter rivals in the comics. Correct. They do not like each other at all. It would have been amazing to see that on screen.
No doubt.
So it's a bummer.
Yeah.
For sure.
Huge. Yeah.
But
so that's phase 4. That is so much content. Okay. So we'll come back to phase 4. Yep. All right, phase 5. Let's just cherry pick a little bit here.
Right.
For as much content as there was in phase 4, hello phase 5.
Right.
Hold my beer, they say. What are you most and least excited for in phase 5?
Well, least excited for, this one's a toss-up, but I'm going to say Agatha.
Yeah.
I did not want to see her again. Don't care. There's literally no care in the world. She was an okay villain for a show that we will never probably revisit.
Yeah, she served her purpose. I have a hard time understanding why she's getting her own show.
Out of all the MCU villains to give a show to, you chose her. That's beyond me. But that's probably my least.
Yeah, and Catherine Hahn is fantastic and was terrific in the role. But again, I come back to the TV shows of you're stretching this out. Like this is, to borrow the quote from our dear sweet Bilbo from Fellowship of the Ring, too little butter stretched out over too much bread. Just a little too thin. That's what this feels like here.
But most excited for, now this is a toss-up. Okay. Obviously, it's Daredevil, so I'm going to take Daredevil off the board. Daredevil is probably number 1 for you and me both. After that,
no question.
It's probably a 3-way tie.
Yep.
Because Blade is going to be sick. Oh. They're talking about the guy who plays Homelander in The Boys being Dracula, which if that's the case, awesome. Okay. Anthony Starr. Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I think that one's going to just tie the knot really nicely on that trilogy.
Yep.
And then, honestly, I am super excited for Thunderbolts.
Okay.
That has a lot of potential.
Okay.
That has a lot of potential. I'll be curious to see who they end up putting in there. But, dude, if we see Baron Zemo take the lead in a movie, I'm cool with it. That's it. You could go. There's so many different iterations of the Thunderbolts. I don't know what their roster is going to be, and that's fun.
Yeah, a lot of fluidity, a lot of opportunity there. Yeah, I agree. Daredevil's far and away number 1. I mean, I brought all my Daredevil comics because am I hyped? I'm gonna have to. We had some time, fortunately, to reread between now and what do we got? Spring of 2024. I can't believe it's going to be 18 episodes.
It's insane.
My understanding is they are telling us that they are rebooting the character, so same cast members, right?
I'd
Still
say
Charlie Cox.
See, I'd say a soft reboot because they said everything that happened in the previous show still happened, as far as I understand.
Okay.
So it's more like a sequel series?
Sure. So really not reboot, more of
a reload. I heard John Bernthal might be coming back too, and if that happens, I'm going to cry.
Boy.
Anyways.
Yeah. The title of the show, Born Again, that is, if it's not the best Daredevil comic of all time, it's up there. It's an outstanding storyline, and maybe I'll remember in 2024 to not get my hopes up that the show or movie is a direct direct interpretation of the comic. So I'll have to come back to our Thor pod and try and remind myself of that here in a year and a half, or 2 years, whatever it ends up being. But nonetheless, 18 episodes. Listen, that doesn't freak me out at all because I have been hammering on the give us more, we want more. And apparently my guy Kevin was listening. Wish granted. 18 episodes. Can't be more excited for that. Listen, Daredevil, Riley, I was thinking about this on the drive up here. Daredevil is he not the Marvel Batman?
Kinda.
That's how I equate it. To me, he's the Marvel Batman. He is or has one of the most rich and reliable comic histories. Like, you can pull his comics out of the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and you're getting killer stories, outstanding content, similar to Batman, whereas so many of these other characters, there are gaps in good, worthwhile stories for them. But Daredevil, I feel like, is just this reliable, outstanding, relatable character where he doesn't have this, he has a unique power set, but it's not as if he has enhanced super strength, right? Similar to Batman, he's just exceptionally skilled. So I'm all for it. I couldn't be more excited for that show.
Which is crazy because if you think about it, Daredevil probably isn't even Marvel's big three when it comes to comics.
And he should be.
Because it's Spider-Man.
Yep.
Probably the X-Men is number 2.
Sure.
They're probably up there. And then after that, maybe...
See, I think it'd be Daredevil.
You really?
I really do.
See, I feel like, I don't know.
I know the Avengers have become really popular ever since the movies came out within the last decade, but I think prior to those movies, it was Daredevil. I think it was Spider-Man. I think it was Daredevil and the X-Men.
You don't think Fantastic Four was better, sales-wise?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so.
Maybe I'm crazy then.
Yeah, but it'd be a close contest. So regardless, Daredevil's easily far and away at the top. Loki's right there as well. I'm very much looking forward to Loki. It's a tie at the bottom between Echo and the Agatha show.
For sure.
Could give a rat's patoot. But Quantumania, I'm very much looking forward to that. Totally for the villain. Totally for Kang.
And MODOK.
You're
We're
right.
getting MODOK.
You're right.
But Kang, this, and it sounds like it's going to be actual Kang.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the first time we're going to see Big Boy come on screen.
The Conqueror Kang. So a lot of content, obviously, in Phase 5. Most of it I'm very excited for. But I think as I'm kind of going down the list, it's probably 60% I'm looking forward to, and 40% I'm more on the may see it, may not. We'll see. But overall, it's an encouraging stretch for the next couple of years. But Daredevil far and away at the top. Loki to me is right after that. Blade I'm really looking forward to. So there's some really good things to anticipate.
70%. Yeah, I'm with you. 60, whatever you
I think 60-40 is about where I'm at.
Captain America has a potential. I want to know more about it.
Yeah, I feel really nervous about that. Really nervous.
I want to know more, but I think that has potential as well.
It does. I'm just not nearly hyped up for it. The Marvels, okay. Secret Invasion, maybe. Echo, Agatha, hard pass. Thunderbolts, I just know less about, but I will go see it.
Ironheart's a 50-50 with me as well.
Yep.
I want to know who's involved with that besides her.
Right.
Because she's...
Well, it looks like she's showing up. We didn't mention this. It looks like she is showing up
in Black Panther. So, but see, that makes sense of her getting a show because they're introducing her in something else. So here's the question.
In a movie rather than another show.
Right. Will she be a Wakandan then? Or is she going to be some girl, smart girl from America that's friends? See, that's the question because she's not Wakandan in the comics. So, yeah.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Daredevil, I would probably be most excited for the second season of Loki. Just fascinating to see where they pick up that story.
Is true.
That show's story was so solid, and I love me some Owen Wilson. So give me some more of Owen, and I'm just going to be delighted by that. So looking forward to it.
And then Phase 6, did we even want to get into this?
I don't think so. Too far out.
Right.
Too far out. Let's leave that for another time.
I will say this, because these were also talked about.
Sure.
And I'm kind of excited about 2 of them, okay? So they did say Marvel Zombies. So for the zombie fans, that's not me. I'm not going to watch it. I don't care.
Yep.
Okay. What If season 2, I'll probably end up watching, but that's not something like I'm like super pumped up for. Okay, I'm excited for the X-Men sequel because they've announced that Magneto's going to be leading the X-Men in this animated series. Dope, let's go. And they got like everybody. Yep. Like Mr. Sinister is going to be like the main villain. This is going to be tight. Okay, I'm going to watch the 90s X-Men for before this comes out. I'm going to get all pumped up. I love me some X-Men. And Spider-Man freshman year, they went like completely 180 with. Yeah. Because originally this was going to be a Spider-Man Homecoming prequel where I was going to show Peter getting his powers. Yep. And they switched it to Peter and then being like his mentor figure is actually Norman Osborn in this. And
That's right. They want to introduce the Osborns in this show.
And MJ's not involved. Yep. It doesn't look like Gwen Stacy's involved either. Harry's back, which, fine. I like the Osborns being involved in Spider-Man. They're very together. But, like, we're going to get a lot of different villains and new takes. So, I'm pumped for it. It looks like Doc Ock's going to be the main big bad. Great.
Yeah.
So
this is just bizarre, Riley.
It's super weird. I don't get it.
The sheer volume of content. This is literally the comics in movie and show form. Like it's because that's what the comics are. There's so much content you cannot possibly read all of the comics.
Nope.
And unless you have no job and no life, you cannot possibly watch and consume all of this content. Which I'm sure some folks will accept that challenge and run with it. So
maybe someday when we make money off this.
Anyways. Hey, there you go. But anyway, lot of options out there. Okay, we should talk some top 5.
Right. So top 5 phase 4 of what's been out for phase 4. I'm gonna come out right now and say it. Okay, so we made these top 5s within like 5 minutes before.
It was great. This was pure off the cuff, ripping the Band-Aid right off, going for it.
I'm just gonna put this out there. There is only one choice I'm confident in. Everything else is kind of a scramble, okay?
I felt really good about my top 2. I felt really firm in my top 2.
I don't even feel firm.
Wow.
In my top.
I love that.
In my 2 through 5, I don't feel
okay,
firm.
Let's go again. Bottom to top. Number 5. I'll go first. I went with Shang-Chi at number 5. It was...
Open!
I was pleasantly surprised by that movie. It ended up being a really well fleshed out origin story for a character that I didn't know anything about. And I enjoyed it. I did. Now we're going to have to come back a little bit to what's not on the list, but I'm just going to spoil it right now. Thor's not on the list. It's not. Shang-Chi got on the list. Thor did not. Never thought I'd say that. Okay, what's your number 5?
I can't believe I'm saying this. First of all, this list.
You say Eternals, I'm walking out.
No. I looked at this and I was like, I don't even feel confident about this at 5. I have Thor 4 at 5, which is insane because I've pooped on that movie. I pooped on it hard.
It's okay.
But I love gore. Okay, the fights for the most part were all right. I don't know why I have this at 5, to be honest with you. I'm not, like I said, this is not a confident 5.
You got it there.
It's there. And honestly, it's Christian Bale. Christian Bale put Thor 4 at 5.
It was almost there for me, but I was trying to be honest with myself. I genuinely enjoyed Shang-Chi more overall, but Gore has been easily the best villain we've had out of all of Phase 4. So that was tough. All right, what's your number 4?
I have Shang-Chi at 4.
There you go.
I did like Shang-Chi. I actually originally had him higher on this list.
Okay.
And I was like, I can't do that quite yet. I almost need to watch all of Phase 4 again and be like, okay, this is the correct order.
Okay.
But
there'll be a time for that.
I really enjoyed it too.
Yep.
It's actually surprisingly a movie. I'm like, you know what? I'd be cool with seeing more of Shang-Chi.
More of that character. No doubt. All right, WandaVision is my number 4. I know it's nowhere on your list. You were not a WandaVision fan. That's okay. I really enjoyed that show. Really liked what they did with the characters. So I'm waving that WandaVision flag. For me, my number 3, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Enjoyed that show immensely.
It's a good show.
Immensely. Really enjoyed it. Love the buddy cop dynamic. Would love to see more of that in the upcoming Captain America movie. That's my hope, or part of my hope, is that Bucky Barnes is still hanging around. That would be great.
He should be.
That'd be great with Sam Wilson as he gets his wings under him, so to speak. That's my number 3. What's yours?
I said Doctor Strange.
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow!
I don't even know why. This list was such a struggle.
I love how shook you are. That's fantastic.
Sam was great. Sam Raimi coming back, baby. Oh, let's go.
Love it. Okay.
That's legit all I got.
There's your 3.
I got nothing.
Okay.
I got
you
nothing
brought
after
Doctor
that.
Strange into it. What do you got for number 2?
Oh, and actually, I take that back. Wanda was a really good villain. Okay.
That's fair.
Number 2, I have Moon Knight.
You have Moon Knight at number 2?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
this is great.
As much as the ending pissed me off, and some of the pacing was very confusing, I still loved Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight so much.
Yeah, he was outstanding.
And at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? I still want more Moon Knight. Mm-hmm. Even if you dinked it like you did. You were so close. And yet I'm still like...
Oscar gave it to you.
Right.
I love that.
That's it.
Good for you.
It's the only reason.
Good for you. I've got Loki at number 2. That was my number 2. Yeah. Loved Loki. Loved it so much. Enjoyed almost every moment of it. I mean, you've put Owen Wilson in a show, you give yourself a chance to be special.
This is true.
And it was special in my book. Really enjoyed the introduction of Kang. I thought that was tremendous. The world building in that show, that was tough. That was tough to pull off. They went a lot of... when you're trying to build rules within a fantasy world and you are within that story adjusting and changing and tweaking the rules for it to hold up and not just start leaking the water, so to speak, I was impressed with that storytelling. That was great. Number 1, and this is just a freaking slam dunk, Spider-Man No Way Home. It's not even close.
I have the Eternals.
No.
And
we're done!
No, Spider-Man No Way Home for sure.
Yeah. Still up here.
Oh, it will be untouched.
Yeah.
It's
as
best.
Good as it gets.
Yeah, no, there's...
It's as good as it gets. None of the rest of these, they're like our top 5. It's like, these things are good, but that Spider-Man No Way Home...
I don't think Phase 5 will touch it. There's nothing I am confident in Phase 5 to hit No
tough.
Way Home level.
Yeah. Agreed.
The only thing that I thought could hit No Way Home level happened, and it didn't hit No Way Home level. And that was Thor.
Yeah.
Okay. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland. Enough said.
Yeah. Here's the deal. I'm comfortable with us putting this top 5 out now because I don't think there's any way She-Hulk ends up in the top 5. Obviously, Wakanda Forever, I think, has potential to get some top 5 action.
Right.
So we can revisit it at the end of the year. But I think what would be fun to do is a bottom 5 of this phase because there are some options.
Yep. I kind of have a feeling I know what would be my number 1.
Yep.
By a mile.
Yep.
You know how No Way Home is way up here? There's one that's just way, way down here.
No doubt.
That I like to imagine stomping to the death.
Maybe someday.
But someday. So.
Well, that was great, Riles. What a blast to recap what is going to be in the very near future. So once again, we're living in the golden age, my man.
Oh, it was fun.
Wow.
It is. It's good.
Wow.
You know, my biggest hope out of this whole thing is that from this phase 4 of shows, that they have learned their lesson from phase 4 and just take their time with the TV show.
Yep.
Take your time.
Need to see phase 5.
Invest in
implement
each episode,
some lessons. No doubt. No doubt.
Just take your time. Like there's some of these shows have the potential to be good. I'm looking at Secret Invasion specifically. That has potential to be actually really interesting and bring back some characters that we didn't think would ever be brought back.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
So, I think that's it.
That's it, my man.
Wow.
Love it.
That was fun.
Good stuff.
That was
a blast.
That was a rocket ship.
Absolute
going
blast
to the
once I got my
moon
microphone
blast.
figured out. Good grief.
Right. So,
it's only the 50th episode or something.
On that note, thank you for watching.
You bet.
We are on YouTube, obviously. You are listening to us, so you found us somewhere. We're on TikTok, Magic Beans Productions. If you enjoy listening to my voice, like everyone else does,
how can you not?
Cloudy with a Chance of Beans. We are a rated R podcast. Yes, I think that's it.
That's it. Love it.
So,
love it.
Godspeed.
Peace.